everyone have weaknesses, and I have those too. So today I want to share about one weakness that I have and that was holding me back in life, and that was perfectionism. I always believe that I need to show up as perfect, that I know all the answers, that I do not make mistakes, but it is this very sad way of living because you're not able to be yourself because you make mistakes. And of course, people who are perfectionists, most of the time they are very insecure because they want to show as a perfect, and that is basically is not true. And when you try to show yourself as a perfect, you lose authenticity and you lose humbleness and humility. So I need to learn how to overcome that. So I will share four stories that I learned in Canada to really humble myself, and embarrassing stories that allow me to grow myself. And I will share from least embarrassing to the most inspiring story. So the first story, and it's not as embarrassing, but it's just learned the different in culture. And I remember that we started working, and there was one lady asked, "How does she look like in the picture?" And I said that you look terrible. And she looked at me and said, "What? How you can say that?" And I said to her that you are a gorgeous woman, but in this picture you look terrible, and it didn't work very well. So I understood that after that when a girl is asking how does she look like in the picture, she doesn't ask for your opinion. She's looking for the compliment. Lesson learned. Now the second story is about I learned about names. So that means that in Lithuania, all guy names finish with a S. So that means Benas, Thomas, Domas, Audrius, Julius, Paulus. So all is S. So when I had a new manager and his name was Lansana, I remember he said it after a week, "Let's meet in the lobby. I'm waiting in the lobby. You come anytime." So I came downstairs, didn't see anyone else, just one guy, and I thought that Lansana needs to be a girl. So after a few minutes, I went upstairs because I had left my phone, and I messaged, "I didn't see you. I saw only one guy," and Lansana messaged me that this is me. So I went downstairs. I said that I'm sorry that I didn't expect that Lansana could be a guy. And that shows that I didn't experience life yet. I didn't understand the world yet. I was quite narrow-minded, coming from a small country. And it was embarrassing, but at the same time, I'm happy that I learned, because now when I see a person's name, I do not assume it's a girl or boy. I need to ask and figure out differently. Now, third story is a little bit more embarrassing. And I remember my business English was pretty good, but my communication English was pretty bad. So I remember after a week, it was a very difficult audio client, and next week supposed to be much easier client. So on Friday I was chatting with 3 Indian guys that we worked on that client, and I said to them that finally next week I will be able to work as a white man. And when I understood what they said, I felt so embarrassed, because all I want to say is that I will work as a clean person, as a clean man. Because in my mind, I just imagined that I'm working in a coal mine with this client, and finally I get so dirty and will need to wash myself, I'll be clean, and will find a little bit to be clean. But I didn't mean anything racist, not related with color, but I just said the white man. And after I said it, I was so embarrassed. I said a million times sorry, and they understood that, so they forgave me. But I felt very, very embarrassed. And then last story is about the most embarrassing story when I really want to grow myself. I used to be a super shy person, and I was not able to initiate conversations with strangers. I wanted to change that. And I remember my first approach when I approached a lady in a store. So I thought, okay, where I could go to approach a person. So I thought that the best place could be store. So I went to a store. I saw a lady by the candy and chocolate section, and I said, okay, I can do this. I was prepping myself to approach a first time, and I came closer, and my lips became more glued, and it was so difficult. And I was like, "Do you like candies?" And I did such a terrible job. I was embarrassed. I turned around, and I moved out. And probably that lady was super confused what happened here. But I didn't care. I just went out. I was super embarrassed. I was red. I went to a washroom, and I was like breathing very heavily, like, what happened? And I was exaggerating, and I was thinking that all world will know about my mistake. Everyone will know how embarrassed I am. But that's not true, of course. And I was breathing heavily, and I found it in a washroom on my own, but someone came out of one of the washrooms and saw me like breathing heavily, holding my hair. I felt even more embarrassed, and I just wanted to die at that moment. But I'm very appreciative of that moment because I became much more humble. At that moment, I understood that this was the lowest point of all, and after that, it became much easier. Now I'm hundred times better because I know that I could improve, get better, approach people. I still struggle with that, but I think that I'm much better. And I love that John C. Maxwell he's training, that leaders need to be able to laugh at themselves, but other people do, so you need to learn to laugh at yourself as well. And you need to share weaknesses with other people, and especially with the people who follow you, because when you share your weaknesses, they understand that you know your weaknesses because they know. So they finally, when they know that you know your weaknesses, they feel much better. And I think that when you share your weaknesses, you're able to connect more because success impresses people, but weaknesses connects with people. And that's allowed me to really to connect with people more because I was able to show that I'm authentic and I'm able to be a human and not perfect at all. So I hope that you will choose to win, and I will see you tomorrow.